guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. It's been a while since I last uploaded. That is my bad. I have just taken like a mini hiatus. But I'm really excited to be filming this video today. And in today's video, I plan on sharing all the books that I read during the month of March. March isn't quite over yet at the time of me filming this video, but I don't think I'm going to be able to finish another book before April 1st. So yeah, March was an overall really good reading month for me. This month I also went to one of my first author meet and greets reading events, which is really exciting. It was for, I actually have it beside me. It was for Tayari Jones's new release for 2026, Ken. She came to Dallas, the Dallas Museum of Arts, and I got a chance to sit in on her conversation that she had. And then I didn't get my book signed because I was sleepy and I was ready to head back home. I hadn't been home all day. I came straight from work, and so I was just like, I'm gonna just have to miss out on getting my book signed, which is totally fine. Just being there in the room with fellow readers is really exciting for me. I actually met a subscriber, which was kind of crazy because I only have like 38 subscribers. So the likelihood of me meeting somebody in person was absolutely insane. But he came up to me, introduced himself, introduced me to some of his family that he was with as well. And it was really nice meeting him. If he's watching this, hey, like, you don't realize how you make my day that day. It was, I was flabbergasted, to say the least, but it made my day, and it confirmed that I should keep posting these videos. It's outside of my comfort zone, and it's a really good thing to challenge myself in this way. But yeah, so the first book that I read for the month of March was actually one of my first reads by Tayari Jones, and that is Silver Sparrow. I don't believe this is her first book that she released. I believe Leaving Atlanta was her first book that she released, but this was my first book that I read by her. And overall, I really enjoyed this book. The book was about two sisters two sisters that did not share the same mother. They shared the same dad secretly. One was his public facing daughter. The other one was his secret child that he had outside of his marriage with his wife, and that he actually secretly married in a different state. And so this book was really told from the perspective of the secret daughter and her dynamic with her dad and her mother. And and so that was the beginning part of the book. But then also the second half of the book was from the main daughter, who was not the secret child, and it was so from her perspective, and just how the story unfolded once the non-secret sister realized that she had a sister who was her friend. I hope that makes sense. Once they figured that out, the main wife and the main daughter figured out that the dad was living a completely secret life. How that story unfolded was really intriguing to me, and I enjoyed it. Overall, I rated this book, I think, a 3.5 stars out of 5. But yeah, super excited to pick up Ken. I'm probably gonna pick it up during April, so I'm anticipating that very much. Then my second read of the month was my favorite read for March, and this was Life is So Good by George Dawson and Richard Glotman. I absolutely love this story. So just to tell you about the back, it says, in this remarkable book, George Dawson, a 103-year-old slave's grandson who learned to read at age 98, reflects on his life and offers valuable lessons in living and a fresh first-hand view of America during the 20th century. Richard Glotman captures Dawson's irresistible voice and view of the world, offering insights into humanity, history, hardships, and happiness. From segregation and civil rights to the wars and the presidents to defining moments in history, George Dawson's description and assessment of the last century inspires readers within the message that through it all has sustained him. Life is so good. I do believe it's getting better. I absolutely love George Dawson as a person. When I picture a better version of myself, I picture many of the characteristics that he had as a man being characteristics that I desire for my future self. He was just overall a person that was deeply rooted in gratitude and joy in the face of oppression. And I found his life story to be so interesting and completely different from mine. from him growing up in a small town in Texas, Marshall, Texas to be exact. It's in East Texas. I've been there many of times. I could relate to some of the destinations that he traveled to, and I absolutely loved the part of his life where he was train hopping. He was just getting on them, wasn't paying for a ticket, and he was just going wherever the train took him, and he would go there and kind of start a life for himself, short term, picking up jobs, odd jobs really, and just making his way. He went as far as Canada, and then he went even came back to Texas, and then went to Mexico for some time as well. And just some of the life lessons that he shared with Richard, I found very inspiring. Let's see, I think I have one tab. Okay, so the part that I have tabbed is towards the end of the book on page 246. He says, I want for people not to worry so much. Life ain't going to be perfect, but things will work out. People come to visit and always tell them not to worry. If you got something to eat, don't worry, be grateful. Just look at all those books. Those books aren't about food, they're to do with worrying about food. One of those stacks of books is about money. I bet people worry about money more than food, maybe more than anything. I think people buy these books to make enough money so that they won't have to worry about tomorrow. I set Richard's books down. Money just isn't something to worry about. These books and such only get the brain working too fast. They're only going to make people worry even more. A person can't always be thinking about tomorrow and still enjoy themselves today, right now. Nothing wrong with planning ahead, but wanting more than you have makes a person worry. A person only needs to manage with what they have. Be a good manager and there is no need to worry. I absolutely love some of the perspectives that he had on life. He lived a pretty simple life, and not saying that I would like to live a simple life, but there are definitely aspects of my life that could be simplified and that I could do a better job of not worrying about. So I really recommend this book. I plan on passing this book along to a lot of the people in my family, specifically like my grandmother, my aunts, just because we grew up in East Texas, and we're very familiar with Marshall, and so I want them to see some of the destinations that he traveled to. He actually went to my hometown, which was Texarkana. He stayed there for like a few hours as he was catching a train to Memphis, I believe. And so I found that chapter interesting in the book as well. And then the third book that I read was The Day God Saw Me as Black, The Journey of Liberated Faith, and this is by D. Danielle Thomas. This book I'm actually not gonna rate just because I did not finish the last 2 chapters of it. This book was pretty challenging, and I'm not for sure if it's one that I'll revisit in the future. I did tab some of it, but this wasn't what I was expecting it to read like. Some of the topics that were discussed, I wasn't expecting to be included in the book. But it was really interesting and learning some past church history, specifically Black church history. So that was really interesting. And yeah, that was my third book. Pick it up if you dare. But I don't know if it will be one that I'll keep on my shelf. Spiritually, I just didn't feel well reading it. And I call that conviction. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that third one. But I'm super excited for my reads that I'm going to be reading in April. For sure, Ken will be one. I don't know what the other ones will quite be yet, but very excited for the month of April. I have a lot of great plans coming up. The weather is getting nicer, so hopefully I can make more time to sit outside and read as well before Texas goes straight to hell and it's hot and I'm dripping in sweat. But y'all, that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to give it a like and comment as well. And also feel free to subscribe. Stick around. We talk about a lot of books around here, and I'm trying to be more consistent. But until next time, y'all be blessed.